Everyone looks at it 7 figures. Yeah, you don't know what it takes to make 7 figures. To go through pain willingly, there has to be a desired outcome that is better than the current state. Majority of the time, we've fallen into a problem in business. We've always been able to like sit down, account, and establish that it's mistakes we made in our personal lives. A man without a vision may as well not live. And that's the truth. If you don't have a clear vision, you may as well not be alive, right? And I've seen it in my clients, like when you deal with people with emotional instability, right? People who are constantly go through sadness, deep depression, etc. It's just because of a lack of vision, right? When you actually look at depressed people and people who maybe suffer from, mental health, right? It's due to the fact that they don't have a vision of their lives in a better state that it currently is, which makes him think that it's not worth living, and which is why people become suicidal. Wow. Right? It's actually because they can't envision a better version, right? A better version of themselves, a better life. So of course they become what? Depressed, right? If I'm in a bad situation and I can never see it getting better, why would I choose to keep living? That's why it's so important to have a vision. Why would you keep going? You see, there's this statement and I keep repeating it, right? In order for you to go through the pain of change, you have to have a compelling vision. Change is painful, right? It takes a lot to change yourself physically, mentally, right? Spiritually. It takes a lot of pain to change yourself. It's not easy. And that's one thing I feel like I don't ever want to represent, like change is easy. I've seen what it takes to get somebody to change. I've had to change myself, right? I wasn't always like this, right? I was troubled, all right? Same thing, I see my clients, how much it took for them to change. Change isn't easy. It's not. It's very difficult and it's a very painful process. That is why you need to have a compelling reason as to why you want to change. You have to have an outcome that is so much greater, right, than your current outcome. And I'm going to paint it to you like this, right? We know the ins and outs of having a business. Everyone looks at it 7 figures. Yeah, you don't know what it takes to make 7 figures. That's the problem, right? Because of all these fake little gurus just talk about 7 figures all the time. You don't know what it takes mentally to make 7 figures. It's not easy at times, right? Especially with the people you have to deal with, etc. If you didn't have something compelling, a compelling reason why you wanted to make 7 figures, knowing what you know about making 7 figures, right? About scaling companies. If you didn't have a compelling vision, would you do it?
No.
Of course not. Why would you? It's too difficult. For me to get to do it's the same thing. The only reason people go to a job that they hate is because that salary to them is compelling enough, right? It's good enough that they do something that they don't like. They can go through that pain. To go through pain willingly, there has to be a desired outcome that is better than the current state. Does that make sense?
Okay. That was actually kind of going to bring me to the next point. When it comes to teaching people about business and all these type of things, you're different to a lot of these other gurus, per se. I don't want to say you're a guru, right? But a lot of gurus kind of do this thing where they show you that it's going to be easy to make money. And even if it's not easy, you're going to make the money and you're going to then be able to live this amazing lifestyle and there's going to be no hardship. And you make it very clear that 1 month you could make 10K, the next month you're broke.
Bro, I was probably broke like 3 months ago, bro. Truth be told, right? And that's just the life of an entrepreneur, right? Like, I've been broke so many times in my life. You've seen it, right? So this is the thing. When you're trying to build something that's bigger than you, it happens, right? Because you're constantly pushing money into things to help it grow. And sometimes you don't get the results that you want, right? So you're broke. Now, do we panic when we're broke, or is there any sort of like sadness? No, it's just part of the process now. Like, it's actually kind of fun being broke.
The thing is about this, right? Like, a lot of the time, whenever we go through these times of stress, it's more like we have this type of accountability. It's like, okay, no, that's terrible. Why did we get in that state? There's that one mindset. And it's like, anyways, we know one way or another, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant us more because of the vision and the objective that we had.
100%.
It's for his sake, right? And then there's sometimes like, this is getting difficult, but I just need to find out, why did we get ourselves in that situation in the first place, learn from it, build from it, and never repeat it again.
Bro, majority of the time, we've fallen into a big problem in business. We've always been able to like sit down, account, and establish that it's mistakes we made in our personal lives. Okay. Perhaps we dropped in levels of ibadah, we weren't doing the things we were supposed to do, we haven't been as close to Allah as we were, perhaps, maybe we've been leaving, some of, alhamdulillah, we never leave the obligations, but maybe we've been leaving, delaying the obligations, or maybe we've been leaving off the sunnah, right? The voluntary acts of worship, right? So very quickly establish, like, if a period is that deep and is going through that problematic, there's likely something we've done wrong here, right? And what's the first thing we understand? Okay, we need to lock in. First of all, we need to focus on our ibadah, right? And then, yani, anyway, yeah, it might be a problem that was in the business, and of course it is, but it's through coming back to Allah that you find like He helps you find what the problem is and makes it easier to solve. Right? So one of the things, like I said, bro, any bad day in business, any bad day in my life, bro, I will always look in the mirror and say, this is your fault. Now find out what you did, right? For a long time, we blamed the team members and we blamed this variable and that variable. No. Like you always say the thing, like every excuse is valid, but it doesn't bring you closer to your objective. So eventually you're just going to need to accept that it's you. And you need to fix you. So why am I different to these gurus? Why do I teach differently? Why do I tell people it's hard? Because it is. And if that makes you not want to pay for my course or program or whatever, then don't.
Okay, but see, I'm going to ask you a bit more of a personal question, okay? Look,
go on.
we're not going to cover around the bushes. We're here to make money. I'm not going to lie. We're here to make money. But there's many instances where it's like you chose the objective over money. Why?
Because I only make money for the objective.
This is not a person who's insane.
Yeah, it's a person who believes in the objective. Look, if I didn't believe in the objective, right, which, by the way, we keep saying objective, right? The main objective is Jannah, like it should be for every single Muslim, right? And then, but to attain Jannah, we have to live a certain type of life. We have to live in a way to attain the Jannah, right? Now, how everyone's going to attain Jannah, it's different, right? There's different abwab of Jannah, right? There's different gates of Jannah. But in the way we want to attain it, we need money. Truth be told, right? So, but we also understand Islamically, the ends don't justify the means. If it was just about money, then I wouldn't even do business. I'd just rob people. Truth be told, man. I'll just go rob people, I'm Nigerian anyway. I'll probably go into like credit card fraud or something. Do you get what I'm saying? But the objective is Jannah, right? So I can't attain Jannah through credit card fraud, right? No matter how much donations you give, right? So the truth is, of course, we're going to choose the objective, bro. At the end of the day, a lot of the times, bro, for certain things, I don't even want to charge, but I just know it's not going to be respected, right? Or I know it's not going to be valued, or I know people will like dedicate themselves to this thing after they're charged. And anyway, like I'll give you an example. Remember the client, right? He missed 3 calls, right? And we have a rule in the company. If you miss 3 of my calls, I'll cancel your mentorship and I'll take your money. You're not getting your money back. You're wasting my time, right? Now, easily I could have just said, look, charge him for another month. No, the law is what? You have to go run, right? 10 kilometers or whatever it was, right? And then you have to donate £200 to charity. Like, because I know, me just leaving you doesn't fix your state. It doesn't fix your state. But if you have to go through something that is painful, perhaps you're going to realize, and bro, Wallahi al-Azim, by the way, is there on the call 5 minutes before, all the time, all right? Now he's there every time, 5 minutes prior. So the objective is more to me than money. Money at the end of the day isn't like, when you gain money, you realize like, bro, this isn't as sick as I thought it was.